Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're having a blessed Sunday. This is what I want to tell you today. Hold on. God delivers. God truly delivers. The last video that I shared with you, I was talking about the faithfulness of God, that He has placed His word above His name, that you can always rely and depend on the word of God. That is not a man to lie, nor is son of man to change his mind. So I have seen God. Hey, I'm not only telling you about things that have happened in the Bible, things of old, though these things are written for our learning, but I'm sharing about them to show that God is consistent. He is still the same God who delivered Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, these three boys, and God was the fourth man in the fire. And because God says in His word, when you go through the fire, the flames will not set you ablaze. He says, I will be with you. I will be with you. This God that we serve is forever present. People may have abandoned you, you may have been rejected, but know that God will never leave you nor forsake you. If you depend or allow Him into your life, you will see these things that I always share with you guys. You will see these things that I am not making up these things. God is real and God is present. He says that when you go through the river, the waters will not sweep you over. He says that, and I've seen that. I've seen it. When my mom passed in 2015, I remember God said in Isaiah, He gave me this word, and I have been running with it. Isaiah 46 verse 4, He says that I will be your God throughout your lifetime, until your hair is white with age. I made you, and I will care for you. I will carry you along and save you. I've seen God carrying me, because I'll be wondering how I got to where I am. Because when I look back, I can realize that it was not because of my strength, because I had none left. It was clearly God. He was the one carrying me. So God will make you, the Bible tells us that He'll make you escape with your own life. The Bible tells us that He makes streams of water in the desert place. Hey, Bobo, this thing, something like that, that is God. He will make you escape in situations you thought that you are, you are destined to be doomed in. So, yeah. When I start talking about God, I become all either emotional or excited, overwhelmed, because I've seen God. I've seen His faithfulness. I have stories upon stories that I can share with you, how God delivered me. Recently, work-related, I was telling God, I was like, oh God, I'm not done with these reports, Job. Help me find these variances. Help me complete these reports that I need to submit, God. I was becoming anxious. And the Lord takes care of His own. God. The Word of God says that His ears are attentive to the cries of the righteous. Not only does He pay attention to our cries, but He vindicates them. This God. And suddenly I got a call from my manager telling me there is an extension and all of that. The reports need to be submitted later on. And there's nothing too small. Nothing too small. Take God as a friend. He sticks closer than a brother. He's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. That's God. So when you tell God what burdens you, when you tell God what, I always say that God is more real to me. People might think that I'm living, carried away by an illusion, or I don't know, I live in my own world, or I'm in my own head, my head is stuck in the clouds, whatever, however people may want to describe it. But I know that God is more real than this world. God is more real than what we are going through. Is more real than what we are going through. Just when, these boys, these Hebrew boys, they started off saying, "Oh, King Nebuchadnezzar, you can, do whatever, throw us in the fire, but we will not bow down, because our God will deliver us." But even if God doesn't show up, now that was their mentality. We are not backing down. So don't back down. My brother, my sister, don't back down. Stand firm. Know that God is your deliverer. So they said, okay, even if he doesn't deliver us, we will not bow down to you. And God, as usual, came through. My God, he does not need to prove himself, but God constantly shows up and shows us that he is with us. So whatever situation that might look dire, or whatever you're going through, no, hold on. If there's nothing else you remember from my video, please remember this. Hold on. God delivers. God delivers. I've seen God delivering me from situations that I thought that was the end. That was the end of me. But God delivered me. Remember that. Hold on to the truth of God, knowing that he delivers. God, I want to nail it. This point, I want to nail it. I want to drill it down, so that when you finish watching my video, let it ring in your mind that God delivers. That whatever situation I'm going through right now, it's not bigger than God. God delivers. This is not the end of it. Don't put an end on that chapter when God has not done so. It is over. It's not over until God says it's over. And when I say over, I mean that's the end of the chapter. Because it is the will of God for us to prevail. It's always the will of God for us to be heads and not tails, above and not beneath. It is always the will of God. It pleases the Lord when we prosper. It pleases the Lord when we are successful. Because, why would he send his only son, Jesus Christ, to come to die on the cross? John 10:10 tells us that the thief came to steal, kill, and destroy. That is his mandate. People always say, "Oh my God, why do you always attribute every evil and bad thing? People have choices. It's the people are..." No, demons exist. The devil exists, whether you like it or not. They exist. So, yeah, if there's thievery involved, he came to steal, kill. If there's murder and what involved, he came to kill. If there is born a destruction of any kind, he came to destroy. That's what he came here for. If it was the will of God, we would all, the will of the devil, we would all be doomed. But and then it continues. Jesus says, "But I have come to give you life, not just an ordinary life. Life of abundance. Abundance." God you will to him who's able to give, to him who's able to do exceedingly abundantly above. Look at all these words. You might think that God is repeating himself, but it's not. Exceedingly abundantly above all that you can think, imagine, ask, according to the power that works in you. So please hold on. God is still enthroned, and he can never be dethroned. Stay blessed.